Well, let me talk about my college days at the University of Maryland. I went there as an art major, but what I really wanted to study was taught back then through the home economics department. I had to switch my major to home economics in order to learn about set designs, costumes, and what I called the behind the camera activities. I can tell you that I took a lot of flack for getting a degree in home economics. I have to say that the best class was the puppetry class. One that was full of girls, and the other I really knew more than anyone in there about creating puppets, and I have to tell you, it worked to my advantage. I would be amiss here if I did not mention one young lady that stood out. Jane Nebel was a senior, and it seemed like our minds thought alike. Jane even offered to help me with Sam and Friends at WTOP and NBC. These short skits with Sam and Friends that I did at 6:25 p.m. and 11:25 p.m., I was paid $5 a skit. I was not getting rich here. However, I got lucky when Sam and Friends was asked to do some commercials for Wilkins Coffee and Purina Dog Chow. Then the money got a lot better. As the money started rolling in, the more I needed Jane's help. We finally decided to be business partners. I did have another weakness other than puppets, and that was cars. As I started making some money, I bought a white Thunderbird, and in 1960 I drove a used Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud to my graduation. Yep, I said it, a Rolls-Royce. Jane, baby Lisa, and I even drove the Rolls to Detroit for the Puppeteers of America convention. However, that was not the best one. Over the years I had lots of different cars, but the best was a 1978 Lotus Eclac that was custom in Kermit green with headlight details to look like Kermit's eyes. Even the kids loved that car. I had to make a decision about if I wanted to be a puppeteer for the rest of my life. I told NBC that I was going to put Sam and Friends away and take a trip to Europe. They were really upset, so Jane and a friend kept it going while I was away. I traveled all over Europe and saw puppets in every country I visited. Which I noticed in Europe was that puppets were not just for children, and puppeteers were considered artists. I realized while I was traveling that I did want to be a puppeteer as a career, but I wanted to create puppets that all ages would be entertained by. So back home, finish college, and go after my dream. I returned to the University of Maryland that fall to finish my degree. I then fell in love with Jane, and we were married before I graduated. I graduated in 1960 and my first child was born. My college days were incredible. Just like I had Sam and Friends, I traveled to Europe, met and married my wife, had a beautiful baby girl, and bought some incredible cars. Who wouldn't be jealous?